Kim Connolly from KC Health Coaching. Just stop this. Today, I'm going to talk to you about beans. Now, when I talk to you about beans at Anytime Fitness, Lloyd from Anytime Fitness always gets mad at me about beans. Well, he used to until I showed him the picture. You'll be able to see the picture on my website. So the reason I want to talk to you about beans is because I'm a rawtarian. I eat mostly raw food, and I've been eating mostly raw food for 4 years, but for the first 2 years I was about 98% raw, and I didn't eat any beans, I didn't eat any legumes, and I got really, really sick. So for the next 2 years I added in beans for protein, legumes, and I also eat eggs now. So I'm probably about 75 to 80% raw now. And the huge difference that the beans have made is enormous. The reason beans are so important, and I'm not talking beans like brown baked beans. I'm talking about beans that you get out of a health food shop, or else beans that you bought yourself, and you take the beans and you soak the beans overnight and you cook them, or you sprout the beans. Because the ones that you get in tins from the big grocery stores, those ones have an awful lot of salt. So you want to get ones that don't have a lot of salt. Now, with beans, the beauty about beans is the first thing they do is in your stomach, you know the old joke about beans, the more you eat, the more you chew? Something like that. That's true, because the reason is the bacteria from the beans in your stomach, if you're not used to eating a lot of beans, that bacteria that breaks things down will create gas. So when you first start adding beans to your meals at least once a day, every day, you might find that you are a little bit gassy, but what you should do is just add them a little by little. Really good quality beans like cannellini beans, berlotti beans, kidney beans, and you can get some good baked beans, but get them out of a health food shop. Now, the reason that those beans are so good is because the bacteria that's in the beans will not only break down the food that you've just eaten in that whole meal, but they'll break down food up to 3 meals after you've eaten. So those beans will not only give you the protein, which are the building blocks for your muscles and things like that, but they'll also help you to digest the food so that you don't store the food and carry that weight. I know I've had a couple of people say to me, well, what about the lectins in beans? Personally, I follow a doctor called Dr. Joel Fuhrman, and he's all about nutrient-rich food, and I agree with him. I personally know that from eating beans, I'm a lot healthier now than I was 2 years ago when I wasn't eating beans. Now, on my website, I'm going to show you a picture of my 12-year-old, who's now 15, because he had crazy muscles. I asked everybody in the family, how is it that this boy is cut like this? It's impossible. And the reason I've got a picture of him is because it was his 20-year-old brother who said, Mom, take a picture of the two of us because I think this kid is bigger than me. My older son had muscles, but he was long and thin. And this boy was like you'll see, check out my website, you will be astounded. I had other mothers apologize to me for looking at him. They kept saying, I know he's 12, but he's so cut. Anyhow, I couldn't work it out. And finally, when I did my course to become a health coach through the Institute for Integrative Nutrition in New York, there was a guy who got on, and he was a bodybuilder. And he had been eating meat 3 times a day all of his life, and he couldn't bulk up. He became a vegan, and he started eating a whole lot of beans and legumes, and he couldn't believe it. He trimmed down, and he bulked up. And when I saw that, I thought, oh, that's it. Because for 2 years, grade 5 and 6 in my son's primary school, I had been hiding really good quality beans in his burritos. So 5 days a week, he was getting really good quality beans, as well as avocado, but he'd find the avocado and say, Mom, I saw the green stuff. But the beans were so much easier to hide, so I'd mush up the beans, put them in with his burrito, and that's what happened. He stopped eating burritos when he got to high school, and he was still big, but he wasn't cut the same way. So now, within the last 6 months, here he is 15 and a half, and within the last 6 months, he said, I want to eat beans again, Mom. I want to be cut like I was when I was 12. So trust me, beans are good for many, many things. So if you want to see more or find out more or have any questions, check out my website on kchealthcoaching.com.au, and we will get you fit and healthy.